Okay, amigos. So we have worked with preterite verbs. You just told me that the endings for AR preterite verbs are what? Hace, o, amos, aron. And the endings for ER and IR verbs are iste, yo, imos, vieron. Right. So everything we talked about today does not erase what you already knew. Okay? So we will still use that. What happens is with preterite verbs, they don't always follow the same rules. So there are irregular verbs, which just means you have to take a few things into consideration. Okay? CAR GAR ZAR verbs are one group of irregular verbs. The reason we call them CAR GAR ZAR verbs is because they end in the letters CAR, GAR, or ZAR. That's the only reason. Okay? Now, the whole reason we have to look at CAR GAR ZAR verbs has to do with the pronunciation of the letters C, G, and Z. So let's us take a look here. I'd like you to read with somebody next to you. Just read these very quickly, please. And then we'll go through it in class. Boom. Nice. Okay, so as a class, we start right with you, and we'll just go through it. We'll just go this whole side, and then we'll get over here. General. Is it general or general? General. Okay. ¿Cómo? Bien. Is it gente or gente? Muy bien. Cinco. Traigo. Dato. Bien. Poca. Cero. Centro. Guacamole. Datos. Zapatos. Is it zebra or zebra? Zebra. I didn't hear you. What? Llegar. Comenzar. Buscar. Buscar. Okay? Now here is where I'm going to put it up to you. I want to tell you that these three letters, G, C, and Z, all have two different pronunciations. And we need to understand that before we can see how that applies to preterite verbs. So let's take a look at these letters, G, C, and C, and you tell me what are the sounds. We will make soft sounds and hard sounds, because each of these have a soft sound and a hard sound. For our notes today, we'll put the soft sound in green and the hard sound in red. So let's take a look at these examples. What were the two sounds that the letter K, or looks like G, made?
Like an H. Sound like a ha.
Ha or G. Which one would you naturally think is the soft sound? Ha, ha, or G? The first one, right? Ha, almost like an H. I'm going to write this like that to remind us that the sound is like that sound, okay? Where can we see this up here? Pick out a word. General, gente. Is this, well, let's go now. What's the hard sound? Good. As it sounds in English, right? What is a hard sound up here? Traigo, gato, guacamole, llegar. Very nice. Let's do the same thing for the letters C and Z. C has two sounds. What are they? And which is the soft sound? I'm glad you got that. Good. Soft sound is like, tell me some examples where it's soft. Cero. Which one? Cinco. Centro. That's it. What about hard sounds? Como. Cinco. Buscar. Foca. Comenzar. Very nice. Our last is Z. Which two sounds does it make?
Wait, guacamole, yes.
Oh, guacamole. Yes. Is it hard or soft? What? Oh, thanks. Okay. So we'll make it like that to remember it sounds like. Now with the Z's, we have the sound like English, or which is the soft? Oh, shoot. Or, okay, you animals. Okay, which one would this be? Hard or soft? This one would be? Okay, now here's your challenge. You have enough information here. Comenzar would be hard. Look out. Look out. You've got enough information here. I want you to tell me the rule. How do we know it's going to be soft, and how do we know it's going to be hard? Talk to someone around you for like a minute, and I want you to not just say it, but write down the rule you think is here. Write it down on your notes. Okay?
Or He's soft, I is soft, and the rest are hard.
All right. Raise your hand if you think you got it. How many hands do I see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice hands. Tell me the first part of it, Miss Ali.
Well, we think that if it's a soft sound, it ends in an E or an I.
Soft equals,
Like, all that follows it is an E or an I.
so I'll say before E
Yeah.
or I.
Yeah.
I think you're on the right track. Who else wants to add to this rule? Senor Joe?
It's hard. It's before A, U, or O.
Hard sound if it comes before A, O, or U. And you guys are geniuses, basically, because that's right. Okay? And if you look up here, you can see that's the way it works. If these letters come before an E or an I, they're going to make the soft sound. If these letters come before an A, an O, or a U, they're going to make the hard sound. And that'll help you with pronunciation when you're reading. But we weren't just working on pronunciation today, were we? We were working about CAR GAR ZAR verbs. So I want to zap down and see, how does this pronunciation rule, how does it apply to conjugating predicate verbs? Let's see. You guys were telling me before, we can actually just say good for being here, but go away. And so that's gone. CAR GAR ZAR, are they AR, ER, or IR verbs? They're all AR verbs, so that's all we're going to worry about. You told me the endings before. They were aste, o, amos, ado. Okay? So, if I'm looking at this and I'm saying, man, I'm pronouncing this great. I'm on fire. AR is going to make these. You see what I'm saying? You see what's happening here? We were working with C, with G, and with Z. That's where I'm getting CAR, GAR, and ZAR. So that's why we're worried about these letters today. Now, if I'm conjugating a CAR, a GAR, or a ZAR verb, all these have A's. So what is A going to make it? Hard. It's going to make it hard, right? So this looks like these are going to be hard sounds. These are going to be hard sounds. This Hard or soft?
Hard.
Hard or soft? Hard or soft? Hard or soft? Hard or soft?
Soft.
Hard. Soft.
Soft.
By your own rule here, you said if it ends in an E, it's soft, right? So this right here is what we're looking at. It's terrible, but it's beautiful. The letter E. And it's going to change things. If we leave it the way it is, it's going to change the pronunciation of the verb. And so we have to adjust for that. That's the whole reason we're talking about this today. One of our new verbs for this section is, for example, llegar, right? If we were to say, I arrived, we want to say, llegué, so it sounds right. But if we write it like this, what's that going to turn into? Yehe. That's not right. That doesn't sound right, does it? And we could do examples of this for a lot of other words too. If we had comenzar, if we were to use our regular rules, just drop the AR and add A, that's going to turn from comense to comense. That's not right. And if we were to take the verb, let's see, we've done a gar. How about a car? Buscar, to look for. If we were just to use the normal word rules, drop the AR and add this. Instead of saying busque, it would be busque. Okay? And we're not doing that. So, this is what you've got to know. This is the bottom line, right here. Just the yo form only. There has to be some kind of spelling change so that we keep that hard sound. Okay? And it's just for the pronunciation. That's all that we care about. So we're going to make these spelling changes, and I'd like to invite you to open your books right now and look at the summary that will explain this to us. You've done a good job. Let's keep moving on. Let's take a look at page 354. If you're looking at the online book, you can look at 354 too. Now, you're a magic. Okay? I gotta say this again, because this is a common error that people make. They want to apply this to every verb in the world. It only works with verbs that end in what letters? Car, gar, or zar, and it's only the yo form. That's the only form. No other forms. So tell me the spelling changes that you can see on your book. C is going to change to QU. For an example, busque, I looked for. See how that makes the sound that we want? Busque. G is going to change to a GU. So like yege instead of yehe, yege. And Z turns into C. Comencé. So it keeps that light sound that we want. Okay? And that, my friends, is the bottom line for CAR GAR ZAR verbs. Please remember these key points. Only for verbs that end in the letters CAR, GAR, or ZAR, and only the yo form. If you remember that and just learn these 3 spelling changes, you are in fantastic shape. Are there any questions?